Welcome back to my channel. I'm Ernesto with YotaKing, and on today's video I'm going to show you a step-by-step on how I cut my fender and fender flare to fit 35-inch tires. It's a tedious task, but very simple, a little heart-wrenching at first, but you know, you'll get past that the minute you start tracing the line as you're cutting. I'll leave a link in the description below on all the tools and equipment that I use to get this job done. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get to it. Go ahead and whip out your tape measure, and let's go about 2 inches for the fender flare, and use your finger. Follow the bottom edge of the fender flare with your left hand, and with your right hand use a gray Sharpie, using the top flat portion of that tape measure to assist with control. And as steady as can be, follow that all the way around to the other end. Now, if you have an aftermarket bumper like I do, right about this area, I'm gonna have to wing it and pretty much gauge more or less where I want this to end. I've learned in this kind of hobby, you must be able to think outside of the box and just be creative. And just remember, there's no such thing as bad mods, just better ones. Now it's time to remove your fender flare. Okay, so next I'm gonna go ahead and get this ready to be cut. Before I do any cutting, I'm gonna prep it. I'm gonna remove all these tabs, and I might have broke a couple, and I bought some on Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description below. Then I'm gonna spray some goof off, your goofball. Just throw that on there, let it soak for like about 5 minutes, then you take it off with a microfiber towel, and it should come right off. And how you take these tabs off, very simple. You just wanna grab it with a pair of pliers, twist it, comes right off. It's like this. You do counterclockwise or clockwise, whatever, and it comes right off. Go ahead and buy yourself a bag of these orange and blue clips. They're only about $9 for 100. You're gonna need them because you're gonna bust a bunch of these as you're taking this molding off. And here is where you're gonna start to get the heebie-jeebies, the cold sweats, you start panicking, but honestly, just breathe in a few times, breathe out. It's gonna be a walk in the park. Tape this off. I'll show you how to measure this. It's gonna be smooth, trust me. So here, we're gonna go 2.5 inches. To do this measurement, you're gonna go all the way around here, just like we did the last time. You're gonna use your finger, left hand, use the top as a guide, using a black Sharpie this time. Make some vertical lines to help with that dolly zoom effect you can get by just staring at a line. You don't want to hose yourself here. All right, the moment we've been waiting for. It's time to make some noise. There's an old saying in my line of trade: when the time to perform has come, the time to prepare has passed. Just make sure you got all your PPE here, fellas. Here I'm wearing safety glasses, hearing protection, and gloves. Stuff's gonna start flying all over the place, and man, there's no job too important that you can't do it safe. Just go ahead and follow this line. It's gonna go smooth. Go ahead and take your painter's tape off, and with a 60 grit flat disc, go ahead and sand your fender to remove any sharp edges. Eventually, you're going to paint this area so it doesn't rust. And then you're going to cover it with some edge trim. But just keep in mind, before you paint, we want to butt up the fender flare to your fender to make sure that they line up. And if you need to do any minor adjustments, you can trim some of this area off with the metal grinder. Okay, so you made it here. So far, you're doing a good job, maybe an amazing job, maybe better than me. But, you know, also whatever you cut is gonna tend to rust, because this is pretty much metal. This is not plastic or fiberglass. So you wanna get yourself some touch-up paint. Now I got this from Toyota. If you wanna know the color of your rig, you gotta open up your driver's side door. Let me show you. There's a tag on your driver's side, And after the CTR, it's going to be this first digits here, 1H5. And you present that to your dealer, or you can just give them your VIN number, which is, mine is this one here, 3TMCZ. Anyways, show them that and they get the color of your rig, and then you just touch it up. Now there's a few ways to do this. This is your eraser right here on the tip. You open this up and you got this little dot right here, this little thing. You press that and paint comes out, or you open this up and you got a little paintbrush in here. Paintbrushes are for larger scratches. I'm just gonna touch it up here at the bottom. Everything that I tore off, this is gonna start to rust, so I'm just gonna paint that with the brush. And if I find a little bit of rock chips here and there, I'll go ahead and touch it up with that little tip right there. And I'll show you how I do it. Now I'm going to cover up my newly installed cam mount bracket so I can spray paint the inside of my wheel well to make it look fly and clean. Also, I want to prevent any rust building up. I made a video of that cam mount relocation bracket. I'll leave a link in the description below. So go ahead and with your cutoff wheel, you're going to go ahead and follow this line. Remember, you're going to keep the top portion, the bottom portion is going to be garbage. I went ahead and sanded off all these areas I cut, just to smooth them out. Now at this point, you want to make sure that these fender flares are really clean. You want to get some soap and water and just clean that area off real good and remove all that old 3M sticky double-sided tape, because you're going to install a new set. So you don't have to do this, but I'm going to use a heater gun, and I'm going to go ahead and just go over this here and get it nice and sticky. But if you don't have it, it should work anyways. But I feel more comfortable just heating it up. I want it to go on perfect. Take this little metal piece out right here. Remember, you want to take this out because they can scratch your car. Another thing I wanted to show you is these here have to match the holes on this. The orange is a lot bigger. So the orange would be this one down here. It's gonna go here. That's bigger, these are smaller holes. So you wanna make sure that that lines up perfect. So now what you wanna do is you wanna just grab the tip here. You just wanna fold it up.
Up my appetite. Don't leave me here